Welcome to Redesigning Health and Home. I'm Meg.
And I'm Kerri. We love creating beautiful, functional spaces and living healthy, vibrant lives. So join us as we chat about simple, practical ways to take care of your body, mind, and your home. Whether it's fitness tips, home decor ideas, recipe, or navigating those big life moments, we're here to share what works for us and what doesn't, with some encouragement along the way.
Let's redesign this life together, one step, one room, and one habit at a time. Hello, and welcome back to Redesigning Health and Home. I'm Meg, and of course, I am joined by our lovely co-host, Kerri. Today is episode 10 of Redesigning Health and Home. So crazy and exciting. And this week, we're going to be dishing on all our favorite dishes for gatherings, small to large, family or friends. So we will get into that. But first, hi, Kerri. How are you?
I'm doing really well, Meg. How are you? It sounds like you had quite a busy week last week and weekend. What were you up to?
It was amazing. I am still on the high. I just traveled back, but was in Chicago visiting the kids, and we had such a fun time. Few purposes of going to Chicago. One, my sweet daughter wanted to go to this event, which was amazing. It was La La Land in concert. So if anyone knows that movie, they did full orchestra to the movie. I have no idea how it matched up perfectly, but the spotlight would be on the jazz or the spotlight would be on the pianist, and everybody was going crazy, just clapping. And the movie is just emotional itself. So then you'd watch the movie a little bit, then you'd go back to watching the orchestra. It was super, super, super fun. And then the three of us went to the Cubs game, and my husband was home holding down the fort, doing what he does here. So what a treat that I was able to go spend that time with family. How about you? Anything fun and exciting?
Well, wow, that sounds like an amazing weekend with the kids and an amazing show. I don't think I've ever seen anything like that where they've got because you said it's kind of like this orchestra, I guess, playing along with the movie. I've never seen that before. I guess I saw that when Jessica used to dance in Nutcracker. They would sometimes have the live orchestra, with the dancers going on. But that sounds really cool. Very cool. Well, we had a really nice weekend too. So my sister Barb was here all last week, and she's always so energetic and got me a little more organized in my office and started helping me on some painting. So it kind of got me going on some chores. But then we also, did lots of shopping and luncheon and that sort of stuff too. So that was fun. And then on Saturday, we went into the city, my husband and I, to meet with our two girls and just had a really nice little bit of a celebration dinner for our youngest daughter, Jordan, who completed her associate's degree and has transferred into a 4-year institution. And she didn't really want to walk the stage for the graduation, but we did want to celebrate. So we just had a really nice dinner, and it was just so much fun. It's so much fun hanging out with your adult kids, isn't it? It's very different.
Oh, well, congratulations. That's so wonderful.
Thanks.
Kudos to you too, Mom and Dad. So super great stuff. Well, getting back to the kind of the meat of our episode, I'm so anxious. So like our favorite things, we don't know each other's list here. And it is something that is super near and dear to my heart, which we're talking about food and recipes and all the yumminess. So I cannot wait. Shoot, you said you had a sandwich before this. I probably should have had a snack here because I know I'm going to get hungry.
You're going to be so hungry after this.
Yes. So at home, we hope we're going to get you hungry. So if you need to go grab that snack now. But Kerri, why don't you start off with your favorite one in any random order? I cannot wait to hear this.
Well, it's not really necessarily in order of favorite because I love them all, but kind of a go-to for us, whether it's something that we take to a party as like an appetizer or just contribute to a potluck, or we have it at home as an actual one of our mains, is sweet and sour meatballs. And maybe that doesn't sound super exciting, but one of the things I like about it the best is that our daughter, Jessica, is a vegetarian. So we can use beef meatballs, we can use turkey meatballs, or plant-based meatballs with the same sauce in a slow cooker, and they're all great. They all taste great. And if you want them for an appetizer, you can use the little meatballs and set out the toothpicks, and they're just kind of little, little appetizer size, which is great. But the sauce is so easy. You can throw the meatballs in frozen. Like you can buy a bag of meatballs if you don't want to make your own. Like it's literally so easy. And everyone seems to really like them. And then if it's a main, we'll put it with, a bed of rice and then broccoli or some kind of vegetable or something like that for like a whole dinner. So that's a really yummy one. That's super easy.
So yummy. And I think, yes, I should have eaten because my mouth is already watering. How are we going to get through this? I do love that. And to make it into a meal, because I've seen them in crock pots at gatherings, with the toothpicks and my gosh, but with the broccoli and rice, that makes so much sense.
Yeah, it's yummy.
Okay.
One.
Well, my first one, I am going to go totally classic, all the way back to childhood, the stuffing my mom made that now I bring to the holiday gatherings, and all the grandkids don't eat anything until they've had their full share of grandma stuffing. And it is all the good stuff. Tons of butter and onions and celery, and you actually have to toast the bread and rip it up the night before and let it dry out, and sage sausage. Ooh. And it is everything rich and decadent you can imagine. And you just bake it off or then stuff it in the crock pot to keep warm. And oh my gosh, mom's stuffing. Oh, so everybody really enjoys it. And it just feels like childhood when you take that first bite. I'm probably going to get emotional. So yeah.
That's okay. I get it. I have actually a recipe on my list too, Meg, that is attached to my mom as well. And my kids don't even really like it very much, but it's just such a comfort for me that it is not a special holiday if it's not on the menu,
Yeah.
And luckily, my husband really likes it. And the girls are starting to warm up to it as well. But I'll share that one a little bit down. But that sounds amazing. So do you cook it in the bird or you cook it separate?
My mom did used to make a dish, but also stuffed it.
Right.
So I don't know if it's specifically dressing, if you're making it in a dish, and stuffing if it's in the bird, but I always just make it in the dish. Yeah. And it does take some stock. So I'll just use, vegetable broth just to moisten it. Oh, when you whip an egg, it's fluffy like a souffle. It's just so, so, so good. Yes.
That sounds so good. All the seasonings that go into dressing are and it makes the house smell amazing. I love that one. And I would love the recipe because I don't actually like stuffing it in the bird because I feel like it's hard to control the moisture. Like you can get it moist or too dry. So
I think a lot of people with the cooking of the bird and sanitary, I don't know, I think you really need to know what you're doing. Yes. If you're stuffing that bird.
Yeah, I agree. And I think they always used to do it that way, but I don't really feel super confident about
exactly same
sticking my hand in the bird. I actually prefer not to deal with the bird.
Yes.
So, oh my gosh.
Well, very good.
Yeah, that sounds really good. So the next one that I have is kind of a newer favorite, I would say. So again, Jessica, vegetarian. So she's got, some things that she's tried that's her favorite. So this one can be vegetarian or it can have meat in it, but it's the massaman curry. And I know you and I talked about this before, but she and I went on a trip to Florida just for a quick few days. And we went to this restaurant and it was on the menu and she's like, oh, Mom, I think you'd really like this. And since then, I can't get enough of it. So there's a restaurant close by that serves a really delicious one, but it's actually not even that hard to make anyway. So, but with the curry sauce and then the coconut milk and, big chunks of potato, it's just comfort in a bowl. It's so good.
Wow.
I love it. I love it. And the flavors are just a little different, than traditional American food. So yeah, it's
what's the name called again?
It's called massaman curry. And I don't know where the word comes from, but it is delicious.
Okay, so tell me a little bit. Is it with rice, with noodles, with veggies, a big juicy sauce or dry?
So it is quite a saucy dish. And so over rice is perfect because the rice kind of soaks up that sauce. And oftentimes, there'll be, even when we go out to have it, it's more than one serving. And so, you bring it home and make a little extra rice. And yeah, so it's really good. But, and you can put peanuts in there, or I've seen people put cashews in there, which is really yummy too. So yeah, it's a good one. It's a yummy one.
Incredible. Oh my
You were talking
gosh.
about, I think we were talking about curry, and you said you like is it red? Red?
Yes, Penang. It has a little bit of spice.
Okay.
Coconut curry. The
Nice.
red coconut. Yes, I do really enjoy Thai food. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, it's a good
I
one.
started daydreaming like, oh, maybe I'll run and get some Thai food.
For dinner tonight.
Indeed, it sounds great. Okay, well, my next one, this goes way back too, and this was brought at a gathering that someone hosted a brunch, and
Okay.
it's called party potatoes. Have you heard of party
No,
potatoes?
I haven't.
You might have heard the dish, but maybe a different name. And I make it now. You bake it, but then you can put in maybe the crock pot to keep warm. So I don't like necessarily, I'm digressing here, using the crock pot to cook,
Mhm.
but I love it for a bigger group that you can keep things warm in
Things
after
warm.
it's made. But party potatoes, it is frozen shredded hash browns.
Okay, I think I do know this one.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. And of course, the big word butter, butter, butter. Cheese, sour cream. So you take your cheese, your sour cream, you melt some butter, you mix that mixture with a cream of soup can. So I think I like using cream of mushroom, but I know some people use cream of chicken, cream of celery, depending on, and then just mix it up, salt and pepper, spread it in a dish, bake it for a very long time, until it gets bubbly because the hash browns are frozen, especially unless you let them thaw out. Oh my gosh. Serve them with, if you make a roast, scoop of party potatoes, mashed potatoes, but
Yeah.
party-ish.
Yeah. With ham. That's what my mom served it with at Easter time.
Okay.
Yeah. Or even, hash brown casserole. That's what we called it.
Hash
And
brown.
it was,
Okay. You
yeah.
got it.
And it was like whatever special occasion it was on the table, and so good. And like you say, butter and sour cream. I mean, like decadent, and cheese, and but so good. I love that one.
Yes.
That's so good. Yum. Okay, I'm getting really hungry. So my next one is probably going to, again, sound a little boring, but it's ways of making fruit into a dessert. So I have 3 ways that I like to do it. So a fun way is just fruit kebabs. They look so pretty. Put them on a wooden skewer or a metal skewer. They just look really pretty on a tray.
Love that.
But one of our go-to desserts, which is so easy and everyone thinks it's fancy and it's not, is mixed berries in a pretty dish, whether it's white or like a clear glass dish, topped with a little bit of, you could do creme fraiche, you could do whipping cream, you could do Cool Whip if you want to make it super easy. And then just 1 or 2 of those little long stick pirouette cookies, the fudge ones.
Fun.
Just stuck in the top, and it looks so pretty, and it's so easy. Everybody seems to like it. So that's one of the ways I love to sneak some fruit into a dessert. And then a little bit more decadent way to sneak fruit into a dessert is the fruit pizza, which is
fun.
Yeah, which is like a cream cheese kind of, not icing, but like topping. And the crust is, again, butter and flour and all that sort of thing cooked into a little bit of a crust. And then the way that you arrange the fruit on the top, it just looks really pretty. So fruit pizza is one of my husband's favorites. He always is like, when are you going to make fruit pizza? And I don't make it very often, but it's a really good one too. So
that does sound really tasty. And I was just thinking, gosh, besides your fruit, which you are so good, I probably need to label all of mine rich and decadent dips and meals, because I am not really going on the fitness, healthy food trend here. But these are special occasions for guests. And
yeah.
Yes.
Well, that's the only one that has a bit of healthiness to it on my list.
I'm glad you have one, because I don't think now I'm like, oh shoot, I should have done my list a little differently. But hey, we're celebrating here.
Right, exactly.
In moderation, everything in moderation. Actually, I do have one a little bit later. But my next one is a dip. And this was a while ago. We were invited to a home wine tasting party. Have you ever been to one of those?
No, not at a home one. That sounds fun.
Yeah. So I think it is like Avon, Tupperware, these home people that sell wine come. So we went to one. It was super fun because you're kind of being entertained, but you're still at a gathering. Well, I'm probably sitting in the kitchen eating the food while they were drinking the wine. But anyway, this one dip I could not get enough of. It was just you take a plate, crumbled goat cheese, if you're into goat cheese, but it tastes so good with this. Chop up grape or cherry tomatoes really small and sprinkle those on top. And then you mix a bunch of pesto with olive oil. So it's pretty thin, and you just drizzle all over the top the pesto, olive oil, and then salt and pepper, maybe a drizzle of the balsamic glaze then, and then serve it with crostinis. This mixture, so mouth-wateringly delicious. So I've made that then following for many of, if we're, like you said, invited in a potluck and you need to bring something, that's one of my go-tos because it's just so easy, and delicious.
Yes. There's so many good dips out there. And we kind of went through the charcuterie phase. I think that's still, people are, that's still a thing. But have you heard of the butter board?
You were reading my mind. Butter boards, cream cheese boards with bagels.
That would be a nice
cream cheese, capers, all the good stuff. And then you just take a scoop and spread it on your bagel. But the butter board, well, yes. Or the butter candle.
Right. So I can imagine like Easter morning having the bagel with the cream cheese board. That's a great idea.
Super fun,
that
right?
Sounds really yummy.
Yeah. I've seen the dessert candy boards too, where people right?
Those are really cute.
Very cute.
Yeah.
Very cute.
For like a little party or something like that. Yeah. I'm getting really hungry. Okay, so now I'm moving on to a dessert.
Okay.
Again, kind of decadent. So this goes back to the days when we lived in Calgary, Alberta, Canada, like in our 20s. And I met a friend. She became one of my best friends when we were teaching together. And she introduced me to her rum cake dessert. So the alcohol of the rum cooks off in the oven, but that flavor is in the cake. So you're actually using like a yellow cake mix, but it's the kind of the pudding in the mix. And then it's got I'm getting so hungry. It's got this delicious where you crumble up, I think it's pecans, and that gets put on the outside of the cake. And so it's got this little crunch on the outside, but then the rum kind of soaks in. Oh, Meg, it is so moist and delicious. Like I can't even tell you. It's so good. I'll have to make it for you. And it became like a staple in our family for Christmas. And my mother-in-law started making it, and my sister-in-law started making it too. So it's like we can't not have rum cake.
Cannot have rum dessert. Cannot not have rum cake.
Exactly. Yeah. It's so good. So good.
It sounds really yummy.
It is.
Sounds really yummy. Okay. Wow. I'm going to have to beat rum cake. Okay. Well, my next one, I guess this is healthy. This is probably the one healthy one I have on my list is steak salad.
Ooh.
Well, my husband's work was doing a cookbook.
Okay.
So everyone was able to put a submission in. And I felt like just for him and I would make steak salad.
Right.
So I submitted that recipe. I mean, it's not even really a recipe. It's just throwing all the stuff together, but so good. So we submitted that and he got a lot of cute comments like, oh, that sounds really good. But the reason I really like it if you're hosting is because the temperature of the steak. So if you were to divide the steak and the salad separately, I think you can just make the steak and slice it up. So you're going to have a little more well-done pieces and then maybe medium rare or so if you're into eating steak. So it's, I think, an easy crowd pleaser because you can just have the sliced steak. And then I think the must is Gorgonzola cheese with a steak salad. Gorgonzola cheese, the dried cranberries, the little sweet and spicy chopped up nuts, pecans, in there, fresh chopped romaine, really crisp and dark leafy greens, shredded carrots, tomatoes, cucumbers, and all the good things you can think of. And I would probably pair it with a balsamic vinaigrette, then with a little bit of the balsamic glaze drizzled on top. But of course, dressings are per preference, obviously. But that is one of our very favorite, if we're going to make a homemade salad versus our favorite bag salads. Just the yummy steak salad, good tenderloin, whatever steaks you want to grill. And then if you slice them up, everybody kind of gets their liking, or you can go meatless too.
Right. Well, and then people can put as much or as little steak on their salad as they want too, right?
Exactly.
So I like that. That would be a pretty presentation too with the steak kind of sliced up, in little thin strips. That sounds really good.
Yes.
That would be perfect for an outdoor, barbecue gathering or something.
Yeah,
Love that. Although you said you grill all year long. So
we really do. But yeah, no, absolutely.
very
Yeah.
good.
What have you got?
Okay, this is the last one I have on my list today. And this is the one I said that came from my mom, and it's a little bit odd, and even my kids are not so sure about it. But I'm looking at it right now, and the funny thing is, it's this little tiny piece of paper well, actually, this is my sister's handwriting. I was thinking it was
Oh,
my mom's, but it's in my sister's handwriting because the cookbook that it's in is so old, the pages are literally falling out. So I have this little handwritten one now. So it's my mom's marshmallow fruit salad.
yes.
Do you know this one? So the dressing is it's kind of odd. It's got vinegar in it. Yeah, and whipped cream, which is
Okay.
like an odd combination, but it ends up being this quite tangy dressing with the fruit and the marshmallows, and it is just, in my opinion, so yummy. Like I could just eat only that and the dressing at Christmas, and I'd be sad because it's my favorite. Yeah, so it's so good. And my mom always made it, always, always, always. And it has mandarin oranges in it, and she would take maraschino cherries and make a pretty design on the top. So it was also really pretty and fluffy. And so, yeah, so mom's marshmallow fruit salad is just, like you said, a childhood memory that.
Oh, I love that. Now I have a question about that. Is it fruit cocktail?
So you can put fruit cocktail in there, but we don't.
Okay.
We would so the mandarin oranges were in a can, and you drain off the juices. I know my sister Barb adds a lot of grapes to hers, so you can add grapes to it as well. I think there's pineapple in there. So I guess it could be fruit cocktail. That sounds like all the things that are in a fruit cocktail,
But you're actually getting the fruit.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So you could do fresh fruit, but you could also do canned fruit. I think either way. It's so sweet. It's not going to matter if you do canned or fresh, but it is so good. So good.
That's amazing. Very good. Well, oh my gosh. Yes, that sounds great. I'll have to come over and try mom's fruit salad for sure.
Yes,
because it sounds interesting. The vinegar, really, when you said vinegar, I thought, oh no, I don't think I have had this.
Yeah, it's very different. I'll have to send it to you.
Absolutely. My last one is Rachael Ray's pumpkin sage pasta. I must be a sage fan. Now, the pasta is not actually pumpkin sage. It's regular pasta, but in this delicious pumpkin sage cream sauce. I saw the recipe and I've made it, and probably once or twice a year when it's just the four of us, the kids always request it. And it just, again, is kind of we're talking about our moms, but this is our thing where, oh my gosh, mom's making pumpkin pasta. And it has crumbled sausage and lots of sage and this thinned out pumpkin creamy sauce with onions and shallots. And then you toss the pasta in, let it cook a little bit. It's very, very tasty. I can send the recipe. If anybody would like some of these recipes, we're happy to give them to you. Just reach out to Redesigning Health and Home. And Kerri, I did want to tell you one thing that I thought of you and your family. You held a gathering way back when the kids were little, and your husband, Peter, made chili.
Okay.
And I remember I just loved it so much. And he said he put just a pinch of brown sugar in his chili.
Yes.
I have ever since then, for 25 years, have put a pinch of brown sugar in my chili.
Really?
I remember it was so good and asking him, and I think he told me he did that. Maybe it was just a one time for him.
No, he always does that. And sometimes I'm like, I'm not sure about the brown sugar. And he's like, oh, we got to put the brown sugar.
I just put like a half a teaspoon or something. And even if you have poblano peppers or a little bit of spice in there, the sweet and the spice, balances out so good.
Yes.
Wow, this has been fun. Thanks for all your fun recipes.
Well, you too. And you mentioned about the pumpkin pasta, and we're huge pumpkin fans over here. Actually, pumpkin pie is probably my least favorite of the pumpkin thing. But when it's pumpkin spice latte time, I'm one of those girls that's running to the Starbucks. I can't wait. And then pumpkin muffins. My girls love pumpkin muffins. And so same thing like you were saying about it's kind of your thing. Our thing is Taco Tuesday. And my girls still, and it's nothing, it's nothing fancy, but the girls, if they're coming out, they'll be like, oh, can we have taco bar or whatever? And I'm like, yeah, because it's so easy. So yeah, it's so fun though to have those things where your kids get excited about what you're making, right?
That's so true.
Yes,
Yes.
yes, for sure. So are you redesigning anything in your life or your home these days?
Well, I will tell you, yes, I am trying to redesign my Zen because I feel my mind has been racing more than ever for some reason. And I'm just trying to, like we've talked about, strategies, the workout, the long walks, or some deep breathing. So I definitely have been redesigning that this week, just really focusing on zeroing in on some of those strategies. How about you? What are you redesigning?
So, as I mentioned, the painting with my sister. So I'm painting the family room. It just really needs it. When we moved into the house, it just was a little banged up. And so it just needs some refresh. So doing that, and then had the front door repainted, just, freshened up and that sort of thing. So we have a party coming up for one of our girls. And so I'm kind of trying to get rid of the house a little freshened up for that. So that's sort of what I'm working on right now.
So you're physically redesigning.
Yes.
Fun. Oh, that's perfect. Very good. Well,
Yeah.
this has been so great. Thanks for chatting about all these decadent, delicious dishes with a touch of fruit.
Yes, and and we will include some of the recipes that we have links for in the show notes. Some of the recipes, I don't know my mom's recipe on the handwritten paper that's going to translate very well, but we'll include some links of the recipes that we've discussed today. And thanks so much to our audience for joining us today. We really, really appreciate you tuning in, and we'll see you next time.
See you next time. Thanks for listening to the Redesigning Health and Home podcast. If you've enjoyed this episode, we would love for you to like, share, and follow along so you can catch us on all future episodes. You can find me, Meg, at Fit, Fed, Feeling Good on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube.
And you can find me, Kerri, on my website at homestylewithkerri.com and on Instagram and Facebook at Homestyle with Kerri. That's Kerri. And you can find both of us at Redesigning Health and Home on Instagram and Facebook. So join us next time for more inspiration on creating a home and a lifestyle that truly supports your best self.